string processing, and
Yes,
maybe we
ma'am.
have some of us have some confusions that which one is correct for enclosing the characters of a string, which quotation mark we should use, the single quotation mark or the double quotation mark, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in the last class, I said that in C programming language, which one we use?
Double quotation.
Obviously, double quotation mark, right? But in data structure, if you want, here we are not actually, it's not mandatory that always we have to choose the one programming language that is C. We can use any other programming language, right? And there are some programming languages who can support both single quotation mark and double quotation mark. So in data structure in this chapter, if you want, you can use single quotation mark or double quotation mark. Both are correct. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So what is string? We know that it's collection of some characters. String is collection of some characters, right? And we usually use which data type for denoting a string variable. We usually
String
use
data type.
character
Oh, character.
string data. We can't use string data type, right?
Yes, ma'am. In C.
We look at this. String is one type of array, right?
Yes, ma'am.
String is character type array. That means if I declare an array that is S, okay, and the array size is 10, that means S is a character type array. So we can store how many characters here?
10
10.
values.
10.
10. Or in C programming language, just remember, in C programming course, did you have to, did you have to add a null character at the end of the array?
Yes.
Right? When we declare an array at that time, suppose this is our array S, right? At that time, we can take how many elements? 9 elements, and the last element is actually a null character. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So at that time, we actually consider the data type as character. So for declaring a string variable, we use this keyword char. This is a data type, and then we can just write the value here, right? Suppose the string is hello. Now tell me, if we want to print all the characters of the array, what is the process of printing all these 5 characters? Or actually here, there is a null character, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The space. Yes, ma'am.
Suppose we are writing this program in C programming language, right? When we store the array at that time, we can consider there are 5 elements we can use for storing H, E, then L, LO, and the last character is a null character, right? So now if
Yes,
we want to
ma'am.
print all these 5 characters, what is the process? We need a for loop. We need a
Yes.
for loop, right?
For loop.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So which control string we should use there? Which control string we should use?
From 0 to 10.
I'm talking about control string. We are using a for loop. Okay. So suppose I equals to 0 and I less than, what should be the condition?
10.
10. Guys, can you hear, ma'am?
Nope. Madam, we can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry for
Yes, ma'am.
I'm really sorry. So what I was actually asking, I was
Control string.
yeah, which control string we should use? I'm just writing these things again. So character is 10. right? So we want to print how many characters? Only 5 characters. So the initial value of I is 0, then what is the condition? Which
Ma'am, I
value
less
should
than or
Five.
equal to 10.
I less than 5,
Or
right?
equal
Five.
5.
Five.
The condition should be I less than 5 because we want to print only 5 characters in which memory location S0, S1, S2, S3, S4. The condition is I less than 5 and then I plus plus. Then we can use a printf function here.
Ma'am, then we need to
Yeah.
write 4 here because hello has 5 word. That means if we begin to 0, then 4 is enough.
Yeah, but look at this. It's not less than
Oh yeah.
equals to,
Oh, not equal to.
right?
Yes.
So
ma'am.
yeah.
Okay.
So 0, 1, 2,
Yes,
3.
ma'am. Now it makes sense.
No, it's okay. If you have any confusion, you can ask me. Okay?
Sure, ma'am.
And I really appreciate it. Okay, so here the condition is I less than 5, right? And now here we can use a printf function, and what should be the control string?
Percentage
Percent
S.
C.
Percentage X or percentage C?
C.
Percentage
C.
C. C.
C.
Single
or
character.
C or S?
C, madam.
C.
Percentage C, because we are printing each character
Character.
visually. Each character is individually. But what will happen? Suppose we can take two string S1 equals to hello, and another string is world. Okay. And now we want to perform a concatenation operation. What is concatenation? That means at first all the characters of S1 will be printed. After that, all the characters of S2 will be stored in which string? In S1. Right? If I use string concatenation function, that is strca, now if I write S1, S2, so what will happen? It's a string concatenation function. strcat, this is a string concatenation function, and we know that we can merge two strings by using this function, right? So S1 and S2 now will be stored in which string? In S1 or S2?
S1.
Very good. Obviously in S1. Obviously in S1, right? If the function is, if the statement is like this, S2 comma S1, at that time at first it will take all the characters from S2 and all the character of S1 will be stored after hello.
S. Yeah.
Right? So at that time, if we want to now print it, then which control string we should use? Printf. Now can we write percentage C or we have
S.
to write percentage S? Obviously
madam.
percentage S. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now that means we know what is string or how we can store the string variable. I mean how we can store the element in a array, right? So the next thing is how many operations we can perform on a string variable or the data elements of string. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so substring, it's one of the sorry, operations of string. Then please give me a minute. Okay, so the substring is one of the string operations that we can, we frequently use with string type data. What is the name of this operation? Substring, right? So when a string is given, suppose this one, we can see that a string is given to be or not to be. Okay, And what do you think? How we can, or how the compiler will process this whole string?
One by one.
One by one, that means it will compile or it will process each characters individually.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sure?
We will take only the word, not alphabet, like to B
Very
or
good. That means we can take group of words. We can take group of characters. Here, the compiler will not process each characters individually. That means the whole string can be divided into some substrings. What is substring? Here, the string is to be or not to be. Now, if I take two or four, I mean more characters, such as I want to take TO blank space BE, then I can create a substring. So what is substring? That means all the characters of the substring should be the member of the substring. Sorry, the given string. What is the value of this string? To be or not to be? This is a string. So how we can create some substring from the string? Or how many substrings are possible from this string? Is there any limitations? No. It depends on from which character we want to take the character and how many characters we want to take. For creating the substrings, we need to know three information. The first one is about the array, that is how many characters or what is the value of that string. Then number two, from which position we want to take the first element of the substring. Suppose here in this string there are total 18 characters. Now we want to create a substring which will have only 5 elements. That means the length of the from which character we will start from taking the characters from which one. If we want to take this O as the first character of substring, that means the value or the position will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, isn't it?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
How
Yes, ma'am.
the substring operations can be performed. Look at this. Suppose a string is given is equals to suppose beautiful day. Okay. So how many characters are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the length of F is 13, right? And if we want to perform a substring operation, that is S will be, how many information we need to know? We need to know about the string. What is the value of, or how many characters are there? And then we need to know from which position we want to Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So how we can perform the substring operation? Substring, that means we can take few characters from the given string, right? So suppose the initial value is, we want to start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is our string. That is beautiful day. We can write it here. Okay. And the initial value is 7. And the length of the string is, or substring is 5. For this substring operation, we need to know about how many parameters, 3 parameters. One is the string, and then the initial value of the substring and the length of the substring. So this is our string. Now we can take the 7th character as the first character of the substring. So which character is the 7th character of this string? S. F is the 7th character, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Here, the initial value of the substring is 7. That means this 7th character, F, will be the first character of the substring, right? And how many characters we will take, it depends on the length of the substring. The length of the substring is 5. That means from F, we have to take 5 sequential character. We cannot break the sequence. We cannot just take F. After that, we cannot skip this character U. We cannot just take L or any other character. That means we have to take sequentially how many characters? 5 characters, because the length of substring is 5. So F, then U, L, a blank space, D, capital D. So this is our substring. Is that clear what is substring?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, how can we understand that initial value is 7
It
and
will be
length is
given.
7?
It will be given. It will be given in the question. The string, the initial value, and the length will be given. You just have to prepare the substring.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay. So just try another one. Suppose now the string is we can take, okay, hello world, then a blank space, okay, and perform the substring operation. So is, you know, the content of the string, right? Hello world, and then the initial value is 5 and the length is 6.
Ma'am, so about the initial value, should we count
Yeah,
by order from 0, or we can count from 1?
obviously 1. This is the first memory location. So it's 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll start counting from which one? 1. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth character is O. Right? So this is the first character of the substring. Right? And the length of the substring is 6. So now we can take 6 characters starting from O. O, then blank space, then W, O, R, L. Right? So this is our substring. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this operation is called substring. That means we are just taking group of characters from the given string, right? And number 2, the second operation of string is concatenation, and we already know what is concatenation, right? What is concatenation? We just have to merge 2 strings. Suppose S1 equals to new and S2 equals to day. So how we can perform this string concatenation function? We usually represent this function by this slash symbols, right? S1 slash S2. That means we can concatenate these 2 string S1 and S2. At first, all the characters of S1 will be printed. That means new, followed by the characters of the second string. So CAY, muted. This is the new string. Okay, and another operation is length. So when a string is given, how we can calculate its length? So do you know in C programming language which function we actually use for calculating length? Which string function we can use for calculating the length of a string? We use strlen function, right? For calculating the length, we can use which function? String length function.
String length.
Suppose that this is the string is 10, right? And it has 6 characters, that is HELLO, then a space. So if we want to print the number of characters or the length of this string, that means we need another variable, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
What type of output it will provide? Obviously integer type value,
Integer.
right? That means we need another variable that is in the type of another variable n will be integer, right? So integer n. A string is given, that is hello, which has how many elements? 6 elements, HELLO, then blank space, and integer n. That means in this variable n we can store that number, that length of the string, right? So how we can use this string length function here? After counting the number of elements of this string, it will store that result in which variable? In n. Isn't it? After counting the number of characters of the given string, it will store that integer type value in which variable? In the variable n. So the syntax is n equals to strlen, this function, and then we have to write the variable name, that is s. In this way, we can write a C program for counting the string length, for counting the number of characters of that length, right? So in data structure, if we want to count or if we want to find out the length of a character, we can just simply write length, okay, and then the string. Suppose here we want to find out the length of this string day. Okay, so what will be the length of this string? The length is 3. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this was another function of string. So is there any other operation or function then we can use here? On some string type data, we can perform concatenation function, right? Substring, then length. So is there any other function that we can perform on string type data?
Compare.
Very good, compare. We can use a string compare function for comparing the characters of two strings, right? And we can use another function that is called string copy, strcpy. Right? So in strcpy, in this function, how we can copy the content of one string in another string. Suppose two strings are given, s1 equals to hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And s2 equals to world. Okay. So now if we want to copy all the characters of s2 in s1, how we can do it? String copy, it's one kind of, replacement function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But another thing is we cannot completely change all the characters of s1 by all the characters of s2 in string copy function?
No, ma'am.
No. So can you just write a code in code blocks to just check whether we can change or what will happen? Suppose two strings are given, character s1 equals to, suppose ABC. Okay. And another string is, we didn't mention the size, right? Suppose the size is 10, and for S2, the size is also 10. X, Y, Z. So there are two strings, one is S1, and we can see the values here, A, B, C, and S2 equals to X, Y, Z. Now we want to perform a string copy function. So how we can do it? The syntax is strcpy, and then in which variable you want to store the value. Suppose you want to copy all the characters of S2, and then we will store it in which variable? S1. Right? So the syntax will be string copy, then S1, S2. Right? So now all the character of S2 will be copied where? In the variable S1, right? Now we can print it. So printf, what will be the control string?
Ma'am, S1, ma'am.
Control string is %s, right?
%s.
S and then S1. Okay, so now we can check.
Semicolon is missing on the first line.
Yeah, thank you.
Include
this is our
2 times.
output. This is the output, right? That means string copy is one kind of replacement function. That means we can just replace all the characters of S1 by the characters of S2. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what about string compare function? String compare. What do we usually do in this function, strcmp?
Compare data.
Compare data. Do we need to compare all the characters of one string with the other characters of it? I mean, another string.
Not all, but
Okay. For the same strings, I mean, s1 equals to suppose abc, and s2 equals to xyz. Now, if we use string compare function, so what is the syntax of string compare function? strcmp. Then if I write s1 comma s2, what will be the output? We use a str compare function here, and the first one is string 1, the first string, and then we took the second string. So what will be the output of this program?
Output should be Boolean.
Very good. The output should be Boolean. It will compare all the characters of all the characters or only the initial character, the first character. Look at this. We are comparing the characters A, B, C by the characters of the second string X, Y, Z. So at first it will check, look at this. If our first string is X, Y, Z, then what will happen? Suppose now our first string is not A, B, C, it's X, Y, Z. So at first this compare function will compare the first data, first character. In string 2, the first character is X, and in string 1, the first character is X, which is true. After that, it will check the second character, whether the second characters of these two strings are same or not. If the first character is same, if the first character in this both string is same, after that, now this string compare function will check the second character. So Y, in the second string it's Y, and in the first string it's Y, which is true. After that, it will check the last element here, it's also same. So the result will be 1. This string compare function, it produces a Boolean result. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So now if the first string is ABC and the second string is XYZ,
It's 0.
so at first it will compare which one, the first character, it's A. That means the string is, I mean the content are not same, so it will produce the result 0. It will not check the other elements because the first one is not X, right? Or if the first string is XBC and the second string is XYZ, so when the first elements are same, after that it will perform another search operation or another compare operation for comparing the second character. Here the first characters are same. Okay, after that it will check the second character, but here they are not same. So the result will be 0. That is string compare function. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That means until we get all the character match,
Yeah.
and it shows only one value, one result.
Yes.
0 or 1.
Yeah, that is true. 1, that means true, right? And 0, that is false. That is string compare function. Okay, now the next one. In string, we can perform another function that is called index. So what is index function? So for this operation, we need to know 2 parameters. One is the content of the string, and another is about the pattern. So in index function, what we actually do, suppose a string is given, C equals to a string P, or a text is given, that is, okay, to be or not to be. This is the string, okay? And a pattern is also given. So what is pattern? Pattern can be a substring of this given string. Suppose a pattern is given, P equals to O space BE. the string is to be or not to be, and P is one pattern. The length of the string is 18, and the length of the pattern is 4, right? So how we can perform this index operation? In index operation, we just need to check how many times this pattern will appear in the string. How many times?
2 times.
So how many
2
times
times.
it's here? 2 times, right? But in which character, in which position, in which position we can find the first appearance of the given pattern? In which position we can find the appearance of this pattern O, then blank space BE? In which position? This O space BE, these 4 characters, we can find it 2 times in the given array, but we need to know about the position of the first occurrence. In which position we can find it?
From position 1.
In position 2, not in 1.
Oh, sorry.
Right? So we'll only consider the position of the first appearance. That means here the index value will be 2. So what is index operation? When a string is given, yes?
For the internet connection, I can't hear you properly.
Yeah, okay, no
please.
problem. We can. So in index operation, a string will be given and a pattern will also be given. Okay? Now we have to find out in which position the pattern will appear first. In which position? Okay? So look at this. If the text is, suppose this is the text, T, O, and then B, E, and some other characters. So at that time, can we take the same value as index? Can we take the same value 2? What is the difference between the given 2 string? One string is 2, then space B space or, and the pattern is O space BE. And we can find the first appearance of these 4 characters in which position? In position 2.
2.
And in the second string, it's 2 without any space, then BE, right? So our pattern is O, then space B, E. So in this position, in the position 2, we can find O. Then what about the space?
It doesn't match. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that means here the index value is 0. The index value is 0. Is that clear? What is index function? We have to find out in which position all the characters of the pattern appears first. In this position, in position 2. So in the index value is 0. Is that clear? So you can practice another one. Suppose T equals to A, B, C, D, E, F, and the index is P equals to, sorry, that is the pattern. Pattern is A, B, then G, H. That is the pattern. So what is the index value of this?
1.
Index value is 1. What is the length of the string? The length is 6, right?
6.
The length of pattern is 4. The length
4.
of pattern should be always less than the string, right? And how many characters are here? 4 characters, A, B, G, H. That means we have to check whether all these characters exist in the given string. And in which position we can find the first appearance of all these 4 characters?
Nowhere.
Nowhere, right? The
Nowhere.
first character is A,
It's 0.
then B, but the next character is C. That means you cannot find all these 4 characters sequentially, right? That's why the index value will be 0.
0.
The index value will be 0. But for this example, where T equals to X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and P equals to X, Y, Z. Okay. We can take some other characters here. Then again, X, Y, Z, then W. Okay, so this is our string and this is the pattern. So now tell me, what is the index value of this string?
1.
1,
So how many times or how many
1
times
and
it
7.
appears
2
here?
times.
2
Two
times.
times, but we only need to know about the first occurrence,
First
right?
occurrence.
So
Yes, ma'am.
here the first character is x and we can find all these three characters of the pattern, right? That's why the index will be 1. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And now the next one, another operation is insertion and deletion. If we want to insert a new character, we can do it, right? So the next operation is insertion. So how many parameters we need here? Obviously, we need to know about the string, right? One parameters we need here is text or the string. And then we need to know in which position we want to insert the new data item, right? We need to know about the position where we can insert it, right? And after that, we need to know about another parameter. Do you know which one?
Which one?
Insertion.
Only add.
Sorry.
Adding.
Which characters or which string, which pattern we want to insert here.
Yes, ma'am.
In what is insertion operation? A string is given. Now we want to add some new characters. We want to insert another string here, right? So we need to know about three parameters. One is the existing string, right? And then in which position we want to insert the new string, right? And the third one is about the new string. How many characters or which string we want to insert, right? So the syntax of this insert operation is insert and then text, position, and then
String.
Okay. And suppose the text is A, B, C, D, E, F. What is the text value? A, B, C, D, E, F. And in position 3, we want to insert a new string. 3. And the new string is X, Y, Z. Okay. So what will be the new, how many characters will be there? We have to create a new string, right? Or we have to actually insert this XYZ in this string A, B, C, D, E, F. Insertion operation, that means we can insert some new strings here. We can insert some characters here, right? So the position is 3. That means in this position, we will start inserting the new characters. This is our text A, B, C, D, E, F with how many characters? 6 characters,
6.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
And in third position is this one. In third position, we already have a character C. That means we have to replace this character by
X,
X, Y, Z, right? So now the new string will be A, B, C, sorry,
A, B,
X, Y, Z,
C, D, E, F.
and then C, D, E, F. So this is our new string. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So in insertion, operation, we need to know about 3 parameters: text, then the position, and another is
New string.
string, right? And what about deletion? Deletion means we want to delete some characters of the string, right? So how many things we need to know here?
Text,
If we-
position, and the
Yes. Word.
Oh, only the text and the position. Both should work.
Only
This-
text and
The position.
position. Okay. So if the text is suppose the same A, B, C, D, you can take the same string A, B, C, D, E, F. And the position is suppose 3. Then how many characters you will delete? How do you know that we have to delete 2 or 3 characters?
So
we only know the content of text, that is how many characters are here, and we know that from this position we want to start deleting the characters, but how many characters we're going to delete. So that's why we need another parameter, that is length, right? We need to know about another parameter, that is length. So it will tell us that delete 2 or 3 characters. Is that clear?
yes, ma'am, got it.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
now the function will be like this: delete and text. So here text is A, B, C, D, E, F, and the position is 3, and we want to delete 4 characters. This is the function delete, then this is the text, the position from where we'll start deleting the characters, and how many characters we are going to delete,
4.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
So C, this is our third character. C is the third character, right? So that means we will start deleting the characters from which position? From this position. And how many characters will delete? 4
Next 4.
consecutive characters, C, D, E, F. So after deleting these 4 characters, now we have only 2 characters
AB.
in this string, A and B. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, instead of
that's-
putting
yeah.
comma after 3,
Yeah.
if we put if we put clone 3 comma 4 3 clone 4, will it work?
No. Because this is the syntax that we usually use comma.
Got it, ma'am.
Okay, so that is deletion operation. And we can perform another operation that is called replacement. The last one is replacement. Okay. So what is replacement? That means we can replace some characters of one string with other characters of another string. What is replacement? Suppose A, B, C, D, E, F. This is a string, or you can take X, A, B, C, D. Then again A, B, C. Okay, this is our string, and we want to replace the character only A, B by the character Z. In replacement operation, if we want, we can change one or more characters of the given string by another character, right? So this is our string X, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, and we want to replace A, B by the character Z. So how many times this A, B appears here? 2 times. A, B and A, B. But we can only replace the first appearance of A, B. In replacement function, in replacement operation, we can only change the first appearance of this pattern by another pattern. So this is our pattern 1 and this is pattern 2. So only the first appearance of the pattern can be changed by the second pattern. Is that clear? In replacement operation, it doesn't matter how many times you're writing AB here, only the first one will be changed by Z. Okay? So after this replacement function, now the new string will be X,
Z,
then Z,
C, D, A, B, C.
A, B, C. That is a replacement function. Okay, so we can practice another one. So replace, that is a way of writing this function, replace, and then we need to write the
string.
Suppose X string, and we want to replace which one? XY. Okay, we want to replace XY by P. So what will be the new string?
P, Z, X, Y.
We can find XY twice, right?
2 times.
2 times, but
PZ,
we'll only
ABC.
change the first one.
First one.
Okay, so P,
P,
then
Z,
Z,
X, Y,
XY, B,
B,
C,
C,
D.
D.
That is the new string. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So how many operations you can perform on strings? How many operations? Substring, then concatenation, indexing, length, insertion, deletion, replacement, then string copy, string compare, right? You can perform so many operations on string. So do you have any question regarding this topic? Any question?
Madam,
Yeah.
in this example, if I want to change all the xy's into p, then
All the XYZ,
no, only xy into p. Here's
only
that
XY.
yeah, here's a 2xy pattern, and the first one is already changed. And madam, I want to change both of them. Both xy will be p.
So if you want to change the second and again, do
Yeah.
you get that? Now you have to perform this replace function on which string? On this string.
We have to run this function
For
twice.
this string, the only one appearance of XY is here, which can be changed by P.
So I have to put inside a nesting. Madam, is there any option to do it in one line?
No. We can only change one appearance by one replace function.
Okay.
One replace function can change only one appearance of the given data pattern. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have any confusion, you can do one thing. After the class, you can just write the code to check it, whether it's possible or not. That is the best way of how you can, solve your problems, how you can clear your confusions, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear? And still, if you have any problem, then I can help you with that. You can do one thing, just write the code. Suppose maybe you're now thinking that maybe it's possible, maybe you can do it. So please run the code. It's really a great way of learning something. In data structure, after each class, suppose I'm writing some programs here, so you can do one thing. You can just write that program by using any language, in C, C++ or any other language. Just check whether that this program gives us a correct output or not. Is that clear? So in the next class, we will discuss about pattern matching algorithm. Okay, that will be our next topic, and we will discuss it in our next class, that is on Sunday. Okay?
All right, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Please response 1,
Yes, ma'am.
2, 3,